Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on some potential more like severe weather for parts of America. So we could see potentially another outbreak again of like more like supercells for the northeastern Texas, going into like western Oklahoma and going on from around there. So if you're in the Pampa, Texas area or the Borga, Texas area, you are in the moderate risk. And I think it's the third day in a row where it's been like a moderate risk or higher. So it just shows how like volatile the atmosphere is at the moment. So obviously the moisture's coming coming all the way in from the Gulf of Mexico, and then obviously we're gonna have the dry line here, like west of Texas and Oklahoma, and the dry line is the main cause of like triggering these like supercells and to firing up. So like when you have a dry line, like it tends to be more lift. So it just tends to lift more, and then we just tend to get more like supercells and like potentially some like potentially some discrete cells as well. So even if you're in the northern parts of Oklahoma, yes, you're not in the moderate risk, but still enhanced. And if there's like supercells forming in just say the Pampa area and the Boga, Texas area around here, if they advance northeastwards, it's going to head into Oklahoma, and I won't be surprised if we get another PDS warning for the northeastern Texas and going into Oklahoma. And the PDS stands for particularly dangerous situation. And 3% of like warnings ever issued by the Storm Prediction Center or the National Weather Service, 3% of their like warnings, like since they've been doing warnings, is around 3%. So the PDS warnings are not used at all, really. Just the past few days it's been needed because of how volatile the atmosphere is. This is loads of CAPE, convective available potential energy. That's what CAPE stands for. There's like difference in wind directions from higher aloft and also on the ground. So when you get the different the different like wind speed directions from higher aloft and on the ground, that creates spinning rotation. Obviously the moisture coming from the Gulf, so that's creating moisture. Then we'll have the dry line colliding into all that instability, and then that just creates like these like cells forming. So yeah, so that's another like moderate like risk for the northeastern Texas, and I won't be surprised if well, I think they should have extended it maybe into some parts of Oklahoma, but obviously like that's their what they're thinking. And obviously they have a lot more like things and like access to stuff that like the public can't have access to, so we don't know like what they're saying. So but in my opinion, I think we could see like potential like moderate like risks for the western parts of Oklahoma for later on into the evening and then to throughout the night. And if you look at the tornado risk, it's 10%, but I won't be surprised if that goes up to like 15% or so. So there's definitely tornadoes potentially. The Torcon's around 5 or 6, I would say, like a 50% chance in a 50 mile radius. So there is potential for some tornadoes, and then obviously the wind threat is pretty high as well. So obviously like when it turns into more of a squall line, you're gonna get potentially a bow echo, like when the where the winds are very strong. It's kind of like a squall line. And obviously the hail threat's really high as well, 45% chance of strong hail. So I won't be surprised if we get like golf ball size hail and all, and baseball size hail as well. So we can't rule anything of that out as well. So as I said about the PDS warning, I won't be surprised if that gets in effect for the northeastern Texas and western parts of Oklahoma. I won't be surprised at all, because we could get some cells forming, and we could see a couple of discrete cells. And like discrete cells are the most dangerous because they're not really interfered by other storms as inflow or like things like that. So basically, if it's discrete and it's on its own, it can utilize its ingredients around it, because like there's nothing else taking the ingredients from it. It just it kind of essentially it's in its own bubble, so it creates so it does like things itself, and like it's got like nothing to interfere with it, and like themselves are like lethal, and they can like produce the most tornadoes. So like discrete cells are the most dangerous. And for northeastern parts of America, like the New York area potentially, and like around potentially the Boston area, there is a severe like thunderstorm watch, because there is a squall line coming in, and we could see slight like rotation in them areas. So we could see potentially an odd tornado or like a funnel cloud, but I wouldn't put much into that because like when it's a score line, there's more interference on other cells, so other cells like might want to become more dominant because like I was on all crammed together, all trying to utilize the ingredients around it. So when they're all together, it's harder to get tornadoes. But when they're discrete, like when they're on their own, they can utilize the ingredients more, and then like that's when they can grow and they can build up higher, and then they can have inflow and outflow, and then they could potentially create like rotation, and then like a rotating wall cloud, and then tornadoes and stuff like that. So very quickly, I'm going to go into the models. So I'm going to show you the hair model, the composite reflectivity, so what the cells could look like, and like for the evening. So as we go on into the evening, we're going to see shadows, but here's the first signs of the supercells starting to form. And at the minute, they're not discrete at this point, but they're not like properly in like a proper line and all merged. There is like slight gaps in them, so like we could see some, well, like they could like start to break apart like briefly like from each other, and then they could become a discrete supercell, so they could create like tornadoes with them, and like look pretty intense as well, like based on this. And as we go on, they start to advance northeastwards, and like there is signs of Hooke echoes with these as well, so we could see some like pretty strong rotation, and then it just keeps on firing like these cells from the northeastern Texas area, like going into the Boca area of Texas. And then like this one, it starts to turn into a score line and potentially into a boat echo, like when the wind becomes the main threat. So throughout the evening into the night, I won't be surprised if we get some tornado warnings for northeastern Texas and going into Oklahoma, like western parts of Oklahoma. And I won't be surprised in the next few hours we'll get a PDS warning, a potentially dangerous, a particularly dangerous situation. I won't be surprised if we don't see that. Like I think we will for northeastern parts of Texas going into western parts of Oklahoma. So if you're in them areas, stay alert because we could see some tornadoes potentially. If you look at the tornado parameters here, so like this shows you like what kind of cells like there could be, like so this kind of like shows you how likely it is for tornadoes, and then we can get a skew T from a certain place. Just say, so if we go on into 5 hours, there's some pinks here, so it's towards the higher end of the scale. So this one looks pretty intense. So 5.5, just say. Look at this cell and see what it shows. So yeah, there's possible hazards. Just the tornado, so it's not PDS. In the Cape's very high. It's 5,001 Cape. That is extremely high, and so he has the wind shear, so there's a lot of curve in that, so that shows like rotation, so we could see some rotating cells, and like let's see if we can it looks like they could get stronger as well. So if we look at some of these here, we'll just look at this one. So 6.7, that's pretty high on the scale. And if it loads quickly, yeah, so that's also a tornado, but I did say a PDS on some of them. I'm gonna see if I can find a PDS on this. So 6.9, I won't be surprised if this, isn't it? Yeah, so there you go, a PDS. So that's a particularly dangerous situation. So right there, that's like pretty like bad like wording from the hair model. And obviously the hair model, when the high risk came on Monday, that was it wasn't a bust, but it wasn't as bad as we thought. So it does tend to overdo the convection, but we can't discount like what the hair is showing, because the hair could be right with this, and there is some hooks here. You can definitely see some curl in on the back end of the storm. So I can't rule out tornadoes, unfortunately. Just the southern plains have been hit lately, and I've looked at the 10-day outlook, and it doesn't look good at all for the Oklahoma area, going into Kansas and Texas area, and maybe parts of Arkansas. So we're not done yet with the severe weather at all, and even in the days to come, there's even slight risks as well, and they could potentially get upgraded to enhanced risks. So we're nowhere near done with the potential for the severe weather and potential tornadoes, and the floods really bad as well. So there's a lot of parts where it's getting really bad for flooding, and just a slight bit more rain and it's just going to be too much and they're just going to flood. So we could see some flash flooding, we could see some flash flood warnings in Oklahoma, northeastern parts of Texas, into Kansas. We could definitely see some flooding and like flash flooding as well, like overnight tonight, and that is not like what we want to hear at all. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. Please if you like the video, please like and subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss another upload. And yeah, so like as I've said, there's potential like tornadoes for the northeastern parts of Texas and Oklahoma. So in the next few hours, just keep an eye out for the national weather service, and like they could issue some PDS warnings and some tornado watches as well. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. Okay guys, so please like and subscribe, and I will do another video like potentially tomorrow, like for more like severe weather.